Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 Wreaths Across America Montana State House ceremony. My name is Melinda Russell, and I'm the chaplain for the Orofino chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. It is my honor to MC this event representing the Orofino chapter DAR. We are the local sponsoring partner for the Montana Capitol ceremony. Similar events are being held in all 50 state capitals today, as the nation begins a week-long remembrance of those who have sacrificed so much for the freedoms we enjoy. We remember the fallen, the prisoners of war, the missing in action, and all those who have served and are serving our great nation's armed services. We honor as well the family members who have lovingly supported and sacrificed for our nation's heroes. Thank you for coming to support the Wreaths Across America mission to remember our heroes, honor their service, and teach the value of freedom. Please stand as you are able and remain standing for the opening ceremony. Please join me in a word of prayer. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to once again gather together for the annual Wreaths Across America to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and to teach the value and price of freedom. We thank you for the men and women who have sacrificed for our nation by serving in our armed forces. We ask for comfort for those who mourn the loss of service members and courage to those who continue to serve. We pray for those who serve in foreign lands, that they may safely return to their families. Help us remember the past and teach future generations about those who have done so much to provide for our safety. May we always be worthy of their sacrifice. Amen. And now if you'll please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I'd like to invite Eliza McLaughlin Pizzini from Senator Daines' office, who will bring greetings.
Good morning. Thank you for letting us join in on this ceremony. Unfortunately, Senator Daines is in D.C., but he sent the following words. Dear friends, welcome to the Wreaths Across America, and thank you for the opportunity to share a few words as we gather for this meaningful display of patriotism. The holiday season is a time to reflect and show our gratitude, and there is no time more fitting than today to pause and honor the sacrifices made by our fallen service members. As we place the evergreen wreaths upon the graves of the fallen, we do so in remembrance of their heroism that affords us the freedom we enjoy today. No matter where you are in the United States, from rural Montana to the sacred ground of Arlington National Cemetery, the Wreaths Across America organization works to ensure every fallen comrade is honored through ceremonies all across the nation. Wreaths Across America's mission to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach the next generation the value of freedom remains at the heart of all you do. The words of former President Ronald Reagan resonate deeply. There is a special sadness that accompanies the death of a serviceman, for we're never quite good enough to them, and not really, we can't be, because what they gave us is beyond our powers to repay. And so, when a serviceman dies, it's a tear in the fabric, a break in the whole, and all we can do is remember. This Christmas season, may we remember our fallen heroes as we lay wreaths upon their graves with reverence and gratitude. Our veterans and service members are the reason we get to enjoy this holiday season in the comfort of our own homes, and we must never forget their sacrifice. Thank you to each volunteer who's committed time and effort to bringing Wreaths Across America to Montana. The stories of valor represented by these wreaths will live forever in our hearts. God bless each of you, and have a Merry Christmas. Senator Steve Daines.
I want to thank everyone for coming today. We gather in this beautiful state house with a lovely tree in solidarity with the other foreign states and in partnership with Wreaths Across America to keep moving forward in our resolve to remember, honor, and teach about our heroes and their families. Wreaths Across America began in 1992 when a Christmas tree businessman in Columbia Falls, Maine, drove his leftover wreaths to Arlington Cemetery. Photos of the wreaths placed on headstones in Arlington touched Americans' hearts, and the volunteer program has expanded every year since. This week, volunteers will place more than 2 million balsam wreaths at veterans' headstones and center circles in about 4,000 cemeteries in all 50 states, at sea and at American cemeteries in France, the Netherlands, and around the world. Oral Pheno Chapter DAR sponsors this Montana State House ceremony and helps sponsor the wreaths at Fort Harrison. There's information on the back of your program about how you may sponsor wreaths now and anytime all year long to contribute to this massive volunteer effort. The National Society DAR was founded in 1890 and began services to perpetuate the memory of the spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence. Several thousand DAR chapters across the United States are serving as local partners with Wreaths Across America. In addition, National DAR is a WAA corporate sponsor, supporting the mobile education exhibit that travels across the country so that communities may learn the indelible mark veterans have made to our country since its founding. You may have visited the mobile exhibit when we sponsored it at Lowe's parking lot in 2021. DAR is a nonprofit, non-political service organization chartered by Congress and dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and helping to secure America's future through citizenship, education, especially for children. Hundreds of additional volunteer organizations, lineage societies like Sons of the American Revolution, and a wide variety of local civic groups partner with WAA to sponsor ceremonies like this one in state capitals and at the one planned for Saturday at 10 a.m. at Fort Harrison. This afternoon, we are pleased to have the talented vocalist Joshua Dickey back with us again after several years' absence, and he will introduce his selection of God Bless the USA. Mr. Dickey.
There's another song you can sing with me. If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, if I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the many times you gave that light to me. And I proudly stand up next to you, defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, stand and say, that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you very much. We're grateful for your participation in this remembrance. It's with great admiration and appreciation for his years of military and community service that we prepare to welcome our keynote speaker, who, as you can see in your program, truly exemplifies this year's nationwide theme, Keep Moving Forward. He has progressed nonstop in service from the United States Army to children and family services, to the American Legion, Boys and Girls State, and to the ambassadors and the Helena Area America 250 Commission. Let us welcome Joshua Clement.
Good afternoon, all. It is an honor to be asked by DAR, their great partnership that they have in our community in promoting the Wreaths across America. The nice part about someone who wants to teach about civics, that must promote what it is to serve, and having someone like the DAR that wants to focus, that's civic-minded, and they want to live the American values. So again, it's a blessing to be here. I'd also like to recognize Miss Linda Juvic. I had the privilege of serving with her husband, Dick Juvic, as we were both Legion commanders for here at our local post. So thank you, Linda, for being here. It is interesting that we have the opening day of Wreaths Across America on the heels of Pearl Harbor. We recognize December 7th annually as a day that will live in infamy forever. But it's that generation that is moving on, that generation that is disappearing in the wind. So it's fitting that we open up the week as we recognize a generation that moved our country forward. It is impressive to acknowledge the dedication that generation built for us. And I'm honored and grateful that we get to connect Pearl Harbor Memorial to this day. That same day may be recognition of the ones that we lost on December 7th. But holistically, we recognize all those veterans that served in the Great War. We know it's been 80 years since the cessations ended, but it's something we can't allow to be forgotten. And that's what's an honor here today, to talk about Wreaths Across America, the opening here in the state capitol, a place where we're going to lead and make sure that people in our next generation remembers the importance and the values of what this country is created on. It's unfortunate we probably do not have close relatives and friends and family of the World War II generation. But we recall those lessons that were given, whether it's a small conversation across the table, maybe at Christmas or Thanksgiving. We hear some of those stories. But it's our job as American citizens to make sure we keep it going forward. And I'm going to talk a little bit about symbology. And I think Wreaths Across America is an ideal symbology for us to grow. And why is that? It's a circle. It doesn't end. We have our lives that do move. We start with birth. We start with growth. Then we go into education. We go into service, then to teaching. And then we bring it back around to honor those that came before us. That wreath is holistically as a circle, but it's also got an evergreen behind it. I was born in Illinois, I've been in Montana now for over 25 years. One thing that we take for granted is when we walk out these Capitol doors, that we'll see the landscape with those evergreens against the white snow. It is beautiful. It reminds us the perseverance of those trees, the evergreen, the green that we see in the middle of winter, knowing that spring will come again. We get to see that. And that evergreen on that wreath is that reminder that there is perseverance in this country. There is continuous growth. And we need to remember that. It is important to take those symbols and move us forward. The next I want to talk about is the flag. Part of the reason I was asked to speak up here is my family and I serve as the custodians and operations for the Old Glory Landmark. That magnificent pole, 110 feet in the air, and that 30 by 50 foot flag. It is amazing on those cloudy days, that gray background, but you see that beautiful red, white, and blue. And then we think about those summer days, and you see the brightness, the blue sky behind it, and you see those colors. Those colors are who we are as a community. And we need to remember that that flag is a representation of the fabric of our community. It's not the tattered ends. It's not the dingy color. It's not the flag hanging limp against the pole. It's the fabric itself. We, the people, are the ones holding onto that flag up against the pole. It takes the strength of a country to hold onto that flag. Not worrying what's tattered there. It can get mended. It can get repaired. But we hold on to that flag. It is our job to continue to hold on to our country. And for symbolically, if we're just grabbing a flag, then we're doing the right thing. That flag means a ton to me. After 24 years of service, I had the privilege of serving with 5 out of 6 of my siblings, both brother-in-laws, headed over the country multiple times, but we all shared the same flag. And I think this country is missing the fact that we have a unifying flag. And it is our responsibility to remind people. This is a great season. We are the season of giving. We're going to put wreaths out on Saturday. It is important that we remember there is purpose behind all this. And if we can share those small attributes, those small items that we get to share with other people. What does that wreath mean? What does it look like? What is the greenery? What about the colors of our flag? Red and blue, we always think those are the two dividing parts. No, that's the fact that we have to have a country that brings us back together. And so during this week, this fun part of the season, this beautiful tree in this Capitol, we get to celebrate a season. It's probably the most giving season that we have as Americans. We want to do something for someone else. But I challenge you, I implore you to think in your heart and figure out what is that opportunity to serve. What can you do those small things? It's not necessarily, I'm going to run a toy drive all by myself. It's the small things that we can do for each other. But it's got to go beyond December 25th. This year is the year that we get to celebrate our 250th birthday of this country. So take those service ideas, take those opportunities that we get to share and promote and build our community. Let's come together on the 4th of July. Let's continue to make this country great because we're willing to give to one another. Service to one another is one of the greatest gifts because it includes your time and your effort. Not always just money, but we need to contribute to each other in service. Let's recognize that. Let's continue starting today and making sure that we grow as a country. And we keep moving forward. We have that opportunity. It starts today, it starts with us, and it starts with you as an individual. Can we do that? I'm honored to be up here. I'm honored to have my wife here with me today, but I'm very grateful for the DAR and all the work they do to continue to promote civics. It is the right direction for all of us. What do we want to do as we the people in this country? Our job is to serve. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We thank you for your years of service and are truly honored for your participation in Wreaths Across America this morning. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Gail Kremlick, Ora Finger Chapter Regent. She serves as Montana State Society DAR Coordinator for Wreaths Across America, She has received recognition from the state DAR for her outstanding service to veterans and commendation from the Department of Defense for her tireless efforts and service in thanking and honoring Montana Vietnam veterans and their families.
Thank you, Melinda. This year, across the country, at more than 4,900 participating locations, there are millions of Americans gathering safely as one nation to remember, honor, and teach. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people from many walks of life. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price. Lying in cemeteries throughout this nation and abroad are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom and without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children as we believe we need to. We are free to vote the leaders of our choosing. We have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. The United States was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom of the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free. We shall not forget you. We also thank those of you who are here today who answered that call and served your country well. For this, we say thank you.
And thank you, Gail. As Regent Kramlich and Joshua Clement prepare to bring the Montana statehood ceremony wreath, let me say a few words about these wreaths. WAA places only live balsam wreaths and rites. We are not decorating headstones. We are honoring all veterans and active military members by placing live wreaths on the headstones of veterans. Fresh evergreens have been used for many centuries as a symbol of recognizing honor. Through Wreaths Across America, people see this tradition as a living memorial to veterans and their families. Will you please rise as you are able, placing your hand over your heart as the Montana State Capitol is placed, and remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you, and you may be seated. Evergreen wreaths symbolize strength and the everlasting circle of life with no beginning and no end. The ceremonial wreath is in memory of all those who served and are serving in the United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, and Space Force, and in honor of the men and women from all branches of service whose last known address was either prisoner of war or missing in action. Our wreath will remain in the rotunda throughout December to remind us and the hundreds who visit here that it is our veterans who inspire our country, who protect our freedom, and who give us hope in even the darkest of times. The annual Wreaths Across America convoy procession is currently underway. Known as the country's longest Veterans Parade, it left Maine on Saturday morning, December 6th, including Gold Star and Blue Star families, and large white semi-trucks loaded with thousands of wreaths on a 750-mile escort to Arlington. On Saturday, wreaths will be placed at ceremonies in all 50 states at sea and abroad. We wish to remind you of the second Helena WAA partner, the Montana POW-MIA Awareness Association. At this time, I invite Linda Jervik to come forward and tell us how we can participate in their plans for Saturday at Fort Harrison.
Thank you. Hello. So the theme is Keep Moving Forward. And this Saturday, National Wreaths Across America Day, marks the 11th year the Montana POW-MIA Awareness Association will host the local ceremony and wreath placement at Fort Harrison. By placing sponsored wreaths, we remember and honor our military personnel for their service and sacrifice, as well as their families, and we teach future generations to never forget our veterans and the value of our freedoms. So please use the main gate entrance and follow the signs to the Helena Armed Forces Reserve Center at Fort Harrison. And do arrive ahead of time for the indoor 10 a.m. ceremony. Following the ceremony, volunteers will place sponsored wreaths on wood stands near the center circle, Montana State Veterans Cemetery, adjacent to the National Guard training facility. And please use the Fort Harrison VA Medical Center entrance. Across the country, events happening today and the one on Saturday are free and open to all. Thank you for showing your support for Wreaths Across America and our association. Working year-round to secure wreath sponsorships allow us to show you how to sponsor a remembrance wreath for your American hero. And so with that, keep moving forward. We serve God, family, and our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. We look forward to participating on Saturday morning. On December 15th, we will commemorate the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the United States Constitution that were ratified in 1791 by the states 233 years ago. These cherished rights, freedom of speech, the press, religion, the right to bear, keep and bear arms, and peaceful assembly, are freedoms which safeguard the heart of Americans' faith in limited government and the rule of law. It is often said that these rights were bequeathed to us by God and our founders and preserved for us by our military. For that gift, we give thanks to all who have served and are serving. The American's Creed was written by William Tyler Page as his entry in a national writing competition to foster patriotism and civic responsibility among United States citizens. Congress called it a brief and simple, but remarkable, comprehensive expression of the best in American ideals, history, and tradition. As printed in your program, please join me in the American's Creed. I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon these principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. Thank you. At this time, I invite Jane Hammond, Gail Cranlett, and Madeline Heath to come forward. Jane and Gail have a special presentation.
You can stand in the middle between us. Madeline is from KTVH TV, and she has followed us around all year long with her camera and covered our events. And for that, we're very appreciative. And therefore, we would like to present her with a Public Media Award. It says, "Thank you from the Orofino Chapter, NSDAR. We appreciate the media coverage you have given our chapter over the years. Our motto of God, home, and country has been delivered to the Helena community via your outlet. Thank you." We'd also like to thank Helena Civic TV. We gave them an award last year for them being here and covering our events as well. Thank you.
And we'd also like to announce that we received a second wreath this year for the first time, because this is the 15th year we have sponsored this service. And we'll deliver the second one to the governor's office.
Please rise as you are able, and we will adjourn our program with God Bless America, sung by Joshua Dickey. Mr. Dickey.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night of the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you very much. Please join us for refreshments and visit the DAR table in the back. And thank you all very much for coming. We'll see you on Saturday.